I think sometimes you got to look at things from a different point of view. What I mean by that is being in sync with your partner is everything. Being on one accord with your partner is life. It's a certain feeling knowing that you got somebody that backs you up and you feel so good backing them up because the trust is there. The respect is there. The love is there. The unity is there. That's what I love about being equally yoked. That's what I love about being a part of a team, being a part of a family, of a unit. It's a beautiful feeling. Oh, but don't worry. I'll explain that later. Matter of fact, let's explain that now. Let's start the show.
Ever been left speechless by the ridiculousness of modern dating? Or maybe you're more old school. Yeah, like seriously, what were we thinking with those pickup lines in the 90s? This is I'll Explain All This Later, the podcast where we dissect the crazy world of relationships. From dating app disasters to in-law interventions, we'll cover it all. Now, some of our takes might be a little hot, but hey, that's what you get when you press play and tune in. We'll explain the logic behind it all. Eventually. Anyway, let's dive in.
Y'all know what it is, and what it's always going to be. Now, I said that I was bringing some firepower this season. So this how we going to do this. I got a special guest in the building. And if y'all don't know, y'all about to find out why I said I got firepower coming tonight. I got the queen, Pillow Talk with the T, Miss Q. What up?
What's going on?
Introduce yourself one time for the good people.
Absolutely. So my name is Qimmah, but for those that can't pronounce it, you can call me Q, the Queen. I am the founder, CEO, creator, and most importantly, the host of Pillow Talk with the T podcast.
I don't too much big up other people, but I gotta big her up. She just being modest. She ain't really telling y'all all she do. Beauty pageants, magazines, podcasts, advocacy. Oh yeah, she doing her thing. She ain't gonna tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell y'all, she big. All right, she one of them. So I ain't gonna let her come on here and be all shy. She one of them. God damn it. So definitely. All right, y'all. So listen, right. Tonight's episode, we're gonna be talking about something that I really wanted to touch on last season, but I couldn't get to it because it was a crunch. So this season, we're gonna talk about tonight's topic is equally yoked. Now, y'all know how we do it. Our scenarios got actual names this go round. It was something different that I wanted to put together. So, Alex and Nia have been dating for a year and are starting to talk about their future. They realize that their values and their life goals are completely aligned. Tonight, we're going to talk about that. What does goals and values align mean when you're working together in one space? Tonight, we are going to exploring the importance of compatibility in a long-term relationship, discussing the benefits of being equally yoked, including stronger communication, shared goals, and a more fulfilling partnership. Miss Q,
yes.
When you think of being equally yoked, what is that to you? What does that look like to you?
Me being equally yoked with someone looks like me and that person being able to build together, to be able to rise to the occasions of the top. No matter if it's good, bad, indifference, there's going to be storms because every day ain't going to be rainbow. But just knowing the fact that we have the same vision of building and we making one another better. He bring out the best in me, I bring out the best in him. Because I don't believe in the whole thing of completing each other, because I feel like you as an individual should be able to complete yourself. I just feel like that person should enhance to what you already have.
You just touched on that. I love that. I believe, and I have a tendency of telling people this: come as yourself first. Help yourself first. Whatever that you get in a relationship with someone should be a bonus to what you're already doing for yourself. You can't come in expecting someone to run your life and do everything for you. Like if I come in, first of all, I'm not doing no dating if I am not together. I'm not thinking about a relationship if I myself am not together. If I don't have the bare necessities, for example, my own place,
Mm-hmm.
my own money, like if I'm not working, if I can't pay my bills, if I can't take care of my children, I'm not even thinking about dating because it's like, oh, I'm not a project. I'm not a fixer upper.
I don't think nobody should if they are not together in their mind. That what are you thinking about dating for when you need to be thinking about getting a job or putting your things in order? So I don't think nobody, because I know when I had my downs, that was
Mm,
the last thing on my damn mind.
facts. And I think when you find someone who's on the same page, y'all might have different paths of getting there, but
Mm-hmm.
y'all have the same goals. Like, okay, marriage is a goal, home ownership is a goal, maybe having children is a goal. These are goals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. He might be aligned to go through, I want this, this, and this right now. I feel like we could do this. He might be on the patient side, like, okay, let's do one thing at a time. So the goals are there. What you want to do is there. You just have to find that balance of how to get it together. Some people working on rather work on their careers before they start trying to have children.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a balance because you, all right, well, let me take care of this and then we'll have more time for this. I think for me personally, I love when I have someone who understands their vision and understands my vision,
Yes.
and we putting the pieces together to help each other
Exactly.
reach our visions, not taking away from what I'm doing, but like you said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
enhancing you. Like I know what I want to do and I know what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So my job is not to try to take over anything she wants to do. But hey, if you need me, I'm right here. You need some advice, you figure that out. See, a lot of times people be so stuck into their own that they forget everything else. I've seen a lot of relationships and I've done it myself where nothing else matters right now but this. You become selfish that way because
Mm-hmm.
you have people out here that love you and that'll put everything that they got going on to the back burner for you. And then it's when it's your turn, you ain't got time for it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be like that because even the fact when you sat there and said that the person coming together and not only that, me saying enhancing it, but let's even take it up a notch. Even if the person sit there respect what your vision is and you respect what her vision is, you don't know that your partner that you decide you want to come together with, they might have the resources, the tools, the connections, the people that could help you get there that you don't have on your own. So you got to think about, don't be selfish about it. Don't be thinking I could do it all by myself. I don't need your help type of energy because you got to realize that both parties bring a whole bunch of value and you got to think about what I don't have, she may have, and what she don't have, the guy may have.
Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like if I can't do it, it's good to know that whoever you're dealing with is supposed to back you up. Now, I'm not saying you feel like, oh, I got somebody that's going to be here so I can relax, I can coast. No. What I mean is if you actually fall off, and it happens,
Yeah.
and I done fell off 20, 30 times in my life. But when you got somebody that you know that's not going to allow you to fall off, that's a beautiful feeling. And I think one of the things that I feel like you have to be compatible. Like if you are trying to do everything a two-person job by yourself, you gonna fail
Yeah.
because what is the point of me having you here if we both have to pick up our slack and do it together? I believe in teamwork. We're moving as one. I
Yeah.
believe there is no little U's, big I's, none of that. Like if we are that then we are that. We are moving as that. Now, is it always going to be, like you said, rainbows and sunny days? No.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
can you still maintain that strength, that energy, that togetherness when everything is going bad? That's what builds the character of the relationship. Not even when
Absolutely.
everything is going good, but how are y'all when everything is going bad?
That's
So
true.
when they're saying, oh, everything after a year, everything is aligning and we're working and we're building something. All right, cool. Compatibility, chemistry, how we are when we're into it. Are we still feeling the same when we're into it? Are we still in sync? A lot of times you could
Mhm.
be mad at whoever you with, but you still care.
Yeah.
Like I still get up and take the trash out and bring her plate, or she bring me my plate if she upset or whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean because we mad at each other that we got to stop caring. So I
But
love.
that's where the difference of I love you and I like you come in, because a lot of people
Mm,
looking for this love. But do you also want to be able, so when it's times that you may not love your partner, that you still like them? And
yeah.
that's something I'm very specific in my prayer, because I want to make sure that I attract a partner that not only do I love and fall in love with, and vice versa, but it's going to be times that there's going to be storms, there's going to be treacherous weathers. And again, like you said, getting through that is going to end up building, it's going to show the strength, the structure, and the whole ambiance of the whole relationship. It really
Mm,
it's a test. Honestly, life is a test. And I hate to say, but it really is. But let me go back to also what you said in regards to, we're not meant to be here alone. We really not. So anyone can have the mindset, oh, I could do it all by myself. But even if you are a single man, a single woman, you still can't do it alone, because you're still reaching out to people, places, and things for those to help you. So regardless, we're not here to do it by ourselves. I know I ain't get to where I am because of by myself. I have
mm,
credits of credits and credits and credits of thank yous and appreciations that I have given people and continue going to give people, and even
mm,
shoulders I stand on to this day, that
mm.
help me continue to push open the doors I'm pushing open for the young girls behind me, the women who dare to dream, and
Talk your
also
shit.
and also not only that, but just the fact of so many other people who may be looking at me and watching me, and I may not know that. And they may sit there and say she's a motivation for me. So we don't do this alone. Just like even
Mm,
podcasting, we don't do this shit alone. Yeah, you could do it by yourself, but is the energy really gonna be the same?
yeah. I've been on both sides of doing things together and doing things by myself. And as much as we want to sit here and act like, man, I don't need no help. I don't need nobody. I built this. I did this. This all me. I'm here, blah, blah, blah. We do that. But then when you laying next to somebody or you're around somebody and you be lost. You remember back in the days when you on the phone and you having all these conversations and
Mhm,
everybody around and you got to dip off and find somewhere quiet, just that conversation just
mhm.
speaks to you. And I've grown enough to know that conversation is key.
Yes.
Saying what's on your mind is key. Talking
Yes.
to each other, good or bad. I wanted to be in a space where I could say what I feel and not feel judged. That is us being a bond too, because you ain't judging me, I ain't judging you. We could speak to each other. We could speak
Yes.
to each other as adults. We can hear each other out.
And you're not going to later weaponize me with it and throw it in my
Mhm.
face either.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, I want to be able to confide with you everything that I feel and vice versa, and we
Mhm.
leave it there. It
Yes.
doesn't go further than me and you, because that's how we get on one page. That's what makes me want to get closer to you. That's what makes me want to build with you, because if I can come to you in my darkest storms and we
Hmm.
still cool, we still cordial, we still loving, you ain't turn your back on me, because I'm big on loyalty. We can't be on the same playing field without loyalty, without respect. If you don't have respect for me, I can't look at you and say, yeah, you could be my girl, you could be my friend. I look at you as family. All of these things is big. I'm big on loyalty. So before we even get to the playing field of let's build, let's do this together, I gotta know that you are the person that you say you are. Like who you are when you're around me, when you're not around me. I need that type of energy. And that's what's key for me. Like I'm big on loyalty. We could be compatible and all this, but if I feel like I'm getting two faces of you, we ain't gonna work because I need you to be the same whether I'm around you or not. I think communication is definitely key. I think a lot of times people don't talk to their partner, and that is a big one.
Yeah.
I don't like being talked at. I swear to you, I don't like being talked at. I tend to tune you out. I could take criticism.
I shut down. I immediately shut
Yeah.
down. And then to me, knowing the fact that I come from a domestic situation and it changed and affected my way of how I move, how I do things, how I approach people, and how I allow people to approach me. So I just walk away. I will leave because it's a no for me. Nope.
I'm the type that I will definitely walk off and calm myself down or let you calm down. One of the big things that I've learned is what you say and how you say around the children. Because that's a big factor too in communication because kids pick up on everything.
Yes.
And what you're doing is you're starting a cycle because if kids grow up in a home where the parents are yelling and arguing and screaming and talking down to each other, it's a trickle effect. They're going to grow up in life thinking, oh, well, this is what goes on in my house, so it's okay for me to act like this. And as a father of 7, it is a lot that I still have to learn. I learned early of how to talk to my children's mothers, especially in front of my kids. It took me a while to catch on to that. So in the end, I want to grow up in a loving environment. I want my kids to grow up in a loving environment. So us being on the same page as far as a relationship doesn't just mean just us.
Yeah.
We got to be aligned with the family, with the career goals. We got to be aligned. We got to be in sync. You got to know everything. You see a lot of relationships and you be like, well, I didn't know that you wanted to do this. And I didn't know that you liked that. And I didn't know that you wanted to go here. It's a bunch of things because so many times people get into the physical. And we're going to talk about that too. Sometimes people get aligned into the physical that they forget everything else.
Yeah.
You could see, oh, they so beautiful and they so thick, they so fine. All of those things, you see that.
Yeah.
And then you forget the red flags about everything else. They yelling, they bossy, they want you to do everything while they do nothing. They can't cook, they don't clean, they don't have their own place. They don't have, you ignore those. I watched a video earlier and dude, he broke it down. He said he got married when he was 19 to a woman that had 5 kids. He said the sex was incredible and it made him overlook the things, the way she was talking to him, how she wasn't doing for her kids, how she wasn't working, things like that. It made him overlook it. And he was blinded because he was saying that she turned him out. She did things that he had never experienced. So it was easy for him to fall into it. He'll get into it. He'll move out. He'll go back to his mama's house. She'll come sweet talk him, bring him back, and start the whole cycle over again. So it got to the point where that is considered toxic.
Yeah.
That's not being on the same playing field. That's toxic as hell. And it's fun for a minute. I ain't gonna lie. I've been in some toxic situations. It's fun for a minute. But long term, as you get older, you like, yeah, this shit played out.
But see, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, but sometimes some people choose to ignore that because they're focusing on, like you say, it's the sex. But it's like you cannot allow that to blind you, especially if you sitting there wanting to date someone to be with them. Now all of a
Mhm.
sudden, now you want to start. Now you want to get the fade and all the smoke and the shade from the sex out of your eyes, and now the glass is clear. You saying, "Oh, I didn't see that." And this is why sometimes it's okay to not to put sex involved with it because it allow you to see the truth, and your judgment won't be clouded with the intercourse in regards to having sex. So it's like sometimes you have to do things different. And I'm telling you, like I heard, listen, this is the definition of insanity is doing the same damn thing over and over and expecting different results. So you know you that man and woman, you're still doing the same thing and you asking yourself, huh, why does this keep happening? Change the shit up.
Yeah, because you got to understand that just because we one band, one sound doesn't mean you don't have to practice.
That
Like
part.
you got people out here that, for example, Steph Curry got 4 championships. Do you think that just because he got his championships, oh, now he can relax, he can kick it? I've seen this man get right back in the gym. Like this shit don't stop. We got to come back and get ready to defend this again next year. Like we got to defend this. We got to work. This shit don't stop. So that's what I think about when it comes to relationships. Like the work doesn't stop because you reached a certain level.
And it
Like,
doesn't stop. Also, it doesn't stop once you get them either.
mm-hmm.
You got, so whatever you did to get them, you got to continue or elevate to keep them.
Never get too comfortable and relax and feel like,
Mm-mm,
all right,
mm-mm.
cool. I got you. We did this. We here. So now we can kick it. We at the mountaintop. No, I'm the type that I'm going to climb back down and go head on and start building up a new mountain
Yeah.
because partnership doesn't always mean we going to get along 24/7. It just means that we know each other inside and out. We know the dislikes, the wants, the needs, how to communicate. All right. So if I say this, this is going to trigger this type of response. So let me find a different way to say it so we don't have to go through that. Like, you know what that person wants. That person knows what you want. Everything else in between can't get in the middle of that because y'all already been through the fire. Y'all already know how y'all got to adjust and move. Okay. So I think, like, does it have to be, and talk to them, does it have to be, explain to them that you don't always have to have every goal that y'all want, doesn't always have to be the same. It's not going to be the same. You don't have to have the same set of goals. Y'all might got some common goals that y'all can agree on,
Mm-hmm.
but I might have my goal to go be the best podcast I can possibly be. That doesn't align with you because you're not a podcaster. So give me something that you can put out there about just still supporting each other, even though y'all don't have the same interests as far as personal goals. Like there's the together goals, and then there's still the personal goals
That's
that you set aside for self.
That's easy because you got to realize, even though we may have common goals, but all our goals ain't going to be common. It's going to be self goals that you want to do. You have to ask, your partner had to ask him or herself, does that make my partner happy? Does that fulfill my partner? Do I see that his or her light shine up? Does her eyes or his eyes brighten up? And do you see that they're at their best at this individual goal that they have? And if it's yes, support that person, support your partner, because again, every goal that's had ain't gonna be common. It's going to be a line of common goals, but the outside of that common, it's going to be a few goals individual and separately. But again, you have to ask yourself if those goals are fulfilling your partner. why not back your partner up? Why not cheer your partner on? Why not motivate your person? And not only that, but also sit there and see, like, oh, let me see if I may know somebody that has a podcast studio that my babe could rent out, or either I could get a discount on. And let me see if what's some other equipment that he or she may need, stuff like that. Those are the things that
Mm-hmm.
showing that you truly support and you truly care, because support comes in action to me. You could say you can support all day, but when you show up and show out and you coming up with stuff like that, I'm like, oh damn, he really supporting me. He really
Mm.
rocks with the fact that he
Hell
really
yeah.
sees my individual goal and he knows how passionate I am about it. And he's really rocking on it and he's really loving it because he love and care about me, and he understand that that fulfills me as an individual.
Facts. And then what that do in return is make me want to go all out for you
That's
because
it.
you're paying attention. I didn't even have to ask you for this equipment or studio rentals or anything like that. You just knew. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you're with someone that you truly care about, you're going to study that shit without them
Yes.
even having to ask because you're genuinely interested.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, because for me, it took a lot of growing up for me to figure this out. Like, I would just come off the gate and just let you know, like, I'm not looking for a long-term relationship. It is what it is. But when you start running into someone that can make you change your perception of what a relationship could be, it opens up different doors. And sometimes that's really scary because a lot of times people put they all into something, and then because of fear, because of past experiences, they don't want to get close and get on the same page with someone. But once they do, they start to realize, oh damn, I don't know what this was feeling like, but this feels right. This feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of balances with that. I think one of the things that tends to knock couples off they square is the expectations of what a relationship should be from
Mm-mm.
other people.
That's the worst thing you could do. That's the worst thing you could really sit there and do, is put expectations of other people expectations on your relationship or your marriage. Because again, those other people outside, they're not in this. When you close and lock the door and the shades is closed and the lights is out, they not there. They not laying between y'all. So you got to make sure and create your relationship, your marriage that fits best for y'all. It's only two people in that relationship, two people in that marriage. Fuck everybody else. you
Mm-hmm.
know, Especially 9 times 10, those who have expectation or put expectation on your marriage or your relationship, half of them motherfuckers probably single as fuck, or they got problems of their own and they can't even get nothing or one. So, okay, and how can you end up basically talking to people that don't even know what the situation? Because I feel like anyone that try to put expectations on anybody relationship or marriage, that means they never been married themselves. Because I feel like truly married people know not to do no bullshit like that. Like, because
Facts.
you've been on that other side, you know
Yeah.
what it is, and you know how that shit feels. So you like, nah, I'm not getting into that. And I've been married and I'm divorced. And my best friend for over 37 years, she's currently still married. When her
Mm.
and her husband, she come to me, I don't get into that.
That'd be the
Because it's
first
not,
thing I say.
and I will listen. I have my shoulder here for her to cry on. She want to
Mm-hmm.
go out. She want to make separate herself and get away for a moment, get some fresh air. But I would never tell her to divorce him unless he doing something damaging to her. Yeah, but if he not doing nothing like that, and it could be reconciled, it could be fixed. All they need to do is, like we said,
Yep.
communicate. That's all, and just listen to each other and stop trying to dominate the other person. That's all it is. But having other people expectations on your relationship is the kryptonite, the worst thing you could
Terrible.
ever do. It's a death to a relationship and definitely to a marriage. You should cut all the noise, shut everything and everyone out.
I really want to just say a couple of things. It's always good to have regular check-ins, time to discuss your thoughts, your feelings, seeing where each other is with the goals. Because at least now you know you're not assuming that everything is still aligned, that everything is still together, that you guys are still mentally there. So I think regular check-ins help with that. Expressing yourself clearly. Like, you got to make things clear. A lot of times people beat around the bush. And what I found out is the best relationships are those that have that togetherness. We can talk about anything, like I said earlier, and they could put it all together. They could put it in one motion because you know exactly what it is, and you're telling yourself exactly what it is that you want. You're not sugarcoating. You're not beating around the bush. You're not
Mm-hmm.
leading people on. You're putting it all out there on the table. I want to support you.
Yeah.
You got goals, you got dreams. I want to support you. Tell me how I can support you. I don't want to always guess how I can support you. But in order for us to truly, truly be on one, I got to know exactly what it is that I can offer you.
Yeah, and that's where the communication come in, and it lies at where the fact is that your partner could be able to say, "Tell me what it is that I could do, or what I could do to be able to support you." And that's when that communication come in, because those questions, the right questions, be asked, and that's how you could be able to now memorize or have in your back of your mind, like, okay, this is what I need to do for her. This is what I could do for him. And those are the things that you now know, because now you was told. You can't say you wasn't told,
Mm-hmm.
because me, the guessing game is a no for me. I'm sorry. I'm not a guessing. I'm not assuming. I'm not about to play checkers or chess with this. I'm just gonna come right out like, hey, we need to have a conversation. We need to end up coming out to speak about some things and like put some things
Mm-hmm.
in order. And again, I love the check-ins. I feel like check-ins is definitely necessary. It's for
Yeah.
sure, because this is another thing, like you had said, and like we both even said, like things about getting to know your partner and knowing your partner. When you are in a relationship, even if there's people who are in relationships choose not to get married because they like, I'm not the marrying type, but they long-term relationships, or those are people who do like to want to get married. You want forever be getting to know your partner. That's the bottom line, because every year, each season, your partner gonna be someone different, because it's called growth. So your partner's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be the same partner that he or she was last October than this
Yep.
October, because so many things have happened between that 12-month span that either enhanced, elevated, and grew that person mindset, their wisdom, or either their experience, and they experienced something that made them to say, okay, I'm wise now. So, and I feel like marriage and relationship should be a beautiful journey and a ride. It should not be hard. It should be not complicated. It should not be saying that, oh, this is tough, and you telling your boys like, oh my God, and you going to your girls and you saying this like, and they telling you you should leave. It shouldn't be a complicated situation, or it shouldn't be work. We understand that it's going to have challenges, it's going to have its ups and downs, but it's also going to have its sunny days. But in those treacherous, in those storms, it still don't have to be a hard type of, oh my God, I'm ready to get a divorce. Oh my God, I can't do it no more. Or that you feel like you're ready to throw in the towel and give up. Because again, just like you say, Smash, in regards to, it's in that challenging, out of it, do the challenge, and out of it is what going to it basically the test of that's going to grow you, because no one say that's it shit that's going to be tough is going to be comfortable. And I feel like that's where the growth lies at. It comes from is the uncomfortableness.
Teach me. Teach me something. Like, be with me. If I can't learn nothing from you, I've already checked out. So I
Hmm.
love the fact that I can learn. Like, teach me something. Teach me how to balance life, because you might be good at spending money and I might be good at saving money.
Yeah,
You might be good at poetry and I might be good at web design. It's a bunch of things that we might can pick up where the other lacks in. So a lot of times I be wanting you to teach me something. If I can learn something that has my mind going like, oh yeah, I want to get right with this because she is willing to teach and I'm willing to teach and we're willing to teach and we're willing to help each other. So where I have a flaw in, that might be her strength.
absolutely. And we all come with that. You just have to be patient to see what it is in your partner.
And I know a lot of times people be scared to really let people in their life, but I'm telling y'all, when you find someone who actually wants to be in your life, who actually wants to learn you, the best thing you can do is pull them in and let them. Because there
Yeah.
are some really genuine people out there. That's how a lot of these long-term balances in relationships start off,
Hmm.
by allowing someone to show you. The saying that I live by is, to get what you never had, you got to do things you never did.
Come on now.
So it's a lot of feelings, it's a lot of different things out here. Like when you get comfortable with somebody, you just want to give them everything you got. I've seen it,
Hmm.
I felt it. One thing that does this too, though, is taking your fears head on, trying new things together. I feel like if I go through something with you, then I can go through anything, because that's how nobody wakes up and says, oh, we're friends. No,
Yeah.
we had to go through something together. And I had to
Hmm.
see that you were here with me. You had my back and I got yours. And so now we're building, we're putting them pieces together because we got shared experiences. Like she said, we went through some growth. Like, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. And if I am, then that means I ain't excelled and I ain't learned shit. Because
Hmm.
I think a lot of times people are stubborn. They don't want to grow. They don't want to evolve because they're so used to what they have. Why do I have to change when what I'm doing right now is working? But it's like, in order to really, really see, there are people out here. Listen, I got married and then I got divorced, and divorce scared me because it was like, yo, I'm so used to something. And it
Hmm.
was like, yo, I don't want to go back into this because I'm so used to something. But it took me getting out of that mind frame, like, yo, you got to relearn yourself,
Yeah.
because that's what it is. We tend to get comfortable and complacent and feeling like we ain't got to do nothing, because if we ever fall, that person is going to be there. That's a beautiful feeling. But it's also a gift and a curse, because
Hmm.
sometimes people get lazy because they feel like, all right, if I fall off, you're going to be right here picking up the slack, and that's how we gonna maintain. But me, I have a different mind frame with that. I don't want to fall off, and I'm not gonna let you fall off. We're not gonna let each other fall off. We're gonna be each other's banisters.
Yeah.
And as long as we are each other's banisters in the hell that we call life, because sometimes, let's just be real, life can sometimes hit you with a couple Mike Tyson haymakers, and you don't know what the hell going on. So
Hmm.
to have someone balance that life out with you, that'll catch some of them blows, or that'll catch stand back to back with you. They hear, they listen, they protect, they understand, they love, they honor, they value. They hear when your lights off, they hear when your lights on, they hear for the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that. Man, that's
Hmm.
beautiful.
It
That's
is. It's a beautiful thing, when especially when someone, like you say, just giving that person a chance, because especially I understand people are very challenged and very afraid and scared because they've been hurt. And I tell people this: you're not the only one, but at the same time, those that you see that may end up being in beautiful relationships that you outside looking in, those people was hurt too, but they didn't allow those previous people who hurt them to stop their blessing or to block their blessings, to sit there and say, I'm not going to love again. Because you can't give someone that much power to sit there and stop you from wanting to go out and continue to attract love. Because then it's like, that's telling me that you're still hurt and you're not healed. And we have to end up, even if we do take that moment, pull away, go away, and end up healing and say, okay, I'm going to recover. Then you come back, that's okay. But some people never get back in the game at all. And again, I believe in jumping out there, being afraid, doing it scared. That's when you get your best results, because you be like, oh my God, I was scared, but I did this. And again, like even what you said, Smash, there is true, genuine people. You just have to use your discernment on who is genuine, who is true, who real, and who's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you really do. Because sometimes people come up, they show up with their representative. And you have to allow people to show you who they are, and don't just try to already call them your girlfriend, call them your boyfriend. Oh my God, that's my wife, I'm going to marry them. You haven't known them in 3, 4, 5 months and you already trying to call them and already trying to marry them and put a baby in them. Like, no. This is what I always tell myself, and this is what I always tell my friends and family members. Enjoy the ride and the journey. Just enjoy it, because when you enjoy the ride and the journey, you'll start realizing, oh my God, damn, 3 years just passed away and this felt amazing, because you didn't put expectations on it yourself. You ain't put that much pressure on it as well, and you allow it to flow. And I feel like those are the best relationships that goes into marriages, that those marriages that the two people become the best of friends and they like each other, not only just love each other, but love is a beautiful thing. And my grandfather used to tell me this. He said, love is a gamble. You're gonna continue to gamble. And he said, I hate to say this, but this is what it is. Your love is a gamble. You're gambling with your heart, your emotions, your feelings, because you're putting your heart on the blackjack table, trying to bet it on the number that's going to hit, in which aka the person, and you're just hoping that you end up betting and you win the bet. That's it.
That's how it's supposed to be. I want to be on the same page with you so we can grow and build and run through life together. And that's the beauty of it. Listen, tonight I just had to say that in order for us to truly, truly be aligned and grow within ourselves and build something, we got to stand together.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. We have to. We cannot find ourselves fighting against each other and expecting a perfect relationship, because the world has no bearing on what I want to accomplish. The world is cool, and it's cool with people doing everything that they're supposed to do and how y'all do it. But everything that worked outside for them doesn't always work for me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm open to take advice. I'm open to take criticism. I'm open to learn and do things like that. But experience is the best teacher.
It
So
is.
we can't base our lives off the Cardi B's and the Offsets and the Jay-Z's and the Beyoncé's and the Will and Jada's. We can't base our lives off of that because we're not them. We don't live and experience what they experience. So,
Mm.
as
Yes.
always, man, it is always a pleasure talking to you. Let everybody know what you got coming up, where they could find you, what you got going on, all that good stuff.
Yes. So you guys could find me on Pillow Talk with the T podcast on all social media platforms, as well as on YouTube. So at Pillow Talk with the T. So you go like, comment, subscribe, turn the notifications on, because we got season 6 that's coming up in November, going to air. And we have a great season that's going to be even more raw, even more organic, authentic, and now that we talking about some real life shit. Not only
Mm.
that, but I also have Empower Her Tribe Nation, where is my foundation, where we ignite, empower women to be their best version of themselves and to be able to tap into their confidence unapologetically. And you could be able to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok on Empower Her Tribe Nation. I have also some speaking engagements that's end up coming up, that I'll be in Atlanta twice. I will be in Texas and so many other places that I will be posting it on my social media pages, where I will be actually in the rooms empowering women and just talking about the power of sisterhood and actually just pouring into these women as so many women have poured into me. So that's where you could be able to find me at and what I will be doing. And I have so many other things coming up, but in the works, I can't get talk about it until I get approval.
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. You know you big time when you gotta get approval. That's how you know you big time out here. Cause she said, hey, I gotta make sure the people that's cutting these checks say it's cool to put this business out. Man, shout out to you, man. I don't think people give you enough credit for what you do, man, but I do. Honestly,
I
straight up.
appreciate that.
Listen, man, y'all already know what it is with me. The next episode is going to be crazy. Matter of fact, the rest of these episodes is going to be crazy. If y'all have not tapped in with Miss Q, I'm telling y'all, she is one of those, as I've said 3 times already. She is one of those. So I need y'all to go get in tune with her. Brand new season coming. And y'all can guarantee that she will be back this season. I got another episode in mind for her too. So listen, y'all go tap in. I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all. Y'all already know what this is. I'll explain all this later.
Thanks for listening to I'll Explain All This Later. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And join us again next time for more outlandish takes on relationships and the dating life.